What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I want to break down that Rudy Gobert trade to the Minnesota Timberwolves because I think the Utah Jazz did an absolutely amazing job of getting basically above max value for Rudy Gobert. Before I get into it, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. I really, really appreciate it. But let's break down this trade, okay? So here is all of what the Utah Jazz got for Rudy Gobert, okay? 4 first rounders, 3 of them are completely unprotected, and I think the 2029 one is top 5 protected, so a little protection on that one. They got this year's first rounder in Walker Kessler, so they basically got 5 first round picks. That's the way I look at it. Jared Vanderbilt, who, if you've ever watched any of my Minnesota Timberwolves videos, I absolutely love that guy. I love how he plays. Quality starter. He's young. He's only getting better. They got Malik Beasley, who can be a spark plug off the bench, be a 6-man, can even start, play the 2 if they wanted, or the 1. I don't know how you want to do it with Donovan Mitchell. And then obviously Patrick Beverley, who is a really, really good defender, good team leader, can fit in that locker room if they want to keep him. And they got Leandro Balmero. I don't know much about him, so I'm not going to dive into him too much. So you basically got 5 first-round picks, a young quality starter in Vanderbilt who can defend basically 1 through 5 and does it at a very, very good level. Patrick Beverley and Malik Beasley, who you can probably trade to, because obviously they're probably not going to be contending this year. You can probably trade them to a team that's trying to contend for a championship and get a first-round pick. So you're looking at possibly 7 first-round picks from trading Rudy Gobert, Patrick Beverley, and Malik Beasley. So that's like, even without that happening, this is still a massive, massive haul because, like, I don't know, like Rudy Gobert is a really, really good center, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but it's like, I didn't think this would ever happen. Like, this is an incredible amount to have traded for him. And that's why, like, if you're a Jazz fan, I think you should really love this trade because it puts you in a great situation where you can rebuild around Donovan if you wanted to, or if Donovan decides he doesn't want to stay, you already have all these picks anyways. You can trade him and load up again, and then you can really build your team through the draft if you had to. So you have like flexibility to go different routes. And they didn't really have that before with the team and the way it was constructed. And again, this is not a knock on Rudy Gobert because I think he's a quality, like all-star level center in some ways. But that's a massive, probably an overpay. And it's for a guy that's probably not even top 20 in the league. And that kind of amount of picks and like decent players usually warrants like a top 10 to 15 player in like retrospect. Okay. So I'm going to list off at least 20 players here that I think I would take ahead of Rudy Gobert. Okay. If I'm building a team or whatever I'm doing. So you got Giannis Antetokounmpo, obviously, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Luka Doncic, Jimmy Butler, Nikola Jokic, Jason Tatum, Trae Young, John Morant, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard, Devin Booker, Kyrie Irving, even though he can be a headache, Joel Embiid, James Harden, Bradley Beal, Donovan Mitchell, Paul George, Karl Anthony Towns, Brandon Ingram, and you could probably list off a few others. Okay. That is right there is at least 20 players that I would take ahead of him and not knocking him. That's why I'm saying this trade is so damn good for the Jazz is because they got all those picks and decent players for a guy that isn't really like probably is not worth that much, depending who you're talking to. But if you're a Timberwolves fan, I get the idea behind it because it's like you're swinging for the fences to try and like win now. And I get the premise of that because you have Anthony Edwards. Personally, I think it really just boils down to how good Anthony Edwards becomes. Because if he blossoms into a superstar, then yes, this trade is probably worth it. But like you're banking on that. And then it's also like there's different things that Minnesota has to do for this to work. Like now you have Karl Anthony Towns playing the 4. And I know Jared Vanderbilt played a lot of the 5 for them anyway, which is why I really like the Jazz getting him because he can play multiple different positions. And so you got Cat and Rudy Gobert, who are neither are great perimeter defenders. And not that you're going to ask your 4 or 5 to be elite at those, but I don't really know how great the defense for the Timberwolves is going to be. They're going to be relying a lot because D'Angelo Russell's not a great defender. They're going to be relying a lot on Anthony Edwards being a really good defender and Kyle Anderson and Jaden McDaniels and maybe some other guys. So they're going to be like, they're swinging for the fences. And I give them credit for doing that. I just don't know if I would have gave up this much. And that's why if you're a Jazz fan or if you're the Jazz front office, as soon as that was offered to you, you had to take it immediately. Like that was a win, hell of a trade. Like I really, really like this trade for the Jazz. For me, I'll give it time to see how I like it for the Timberwolves because I want to see how Rudy and Cat fit on the court together. That's going to be really, really interesting to see. I do like that the Timberwolves are at least taking a chance here, but like I said, it's a lot. It's a lot for him. So Jazz fans, you guys got a massive haul. I hope you guys are content with letting Rudy go, because I know the Jazz faithful really love that guy. And he what was he, a second round pick or undrafted, whatever he was, kind of built from the ground up in the Jazz. And, he was probably the heart and soul for a lot of those years. There's a lot to it, and trading one of those guys can be a little tough, but I think for the future, you should be very, very excited if you're a Jazz fan, because you're going to get to like rebuild a roster that wasn't going anywhere. So doing that and like just getting it over with is the best thing they could have done, instead of just running it back another year and running into another first round exit or something. They were just wasting their time. So I like that they're at least trying to make change. That's a good sign. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. I really, really appreciate it. I love this trade for the Utah Jazz. I like the rebuild idea, or retool, whatever they're going to do with this. They have options now, and they didn't have that before. So anyway, I'm done here. Peace.